You're watching Broadside Adventures, hosted by Rocky Francis. We're in McLaughlin, South Dakota, hunting on the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. We're up here doing a little grouse and pheasant hunting with the 16 Gauge Society. It's an exciting show that you don't want to miss, so let's get started on this week's Broadside Adventure. We just arrived at Standing Rock Indian Reservation in South Dakota, and the guys, we've been unloading, the guys told me that I might have a little bit of trouble in our accommodation. They're really nice, don't get me wrong, but my 6'4", 6'5" frame, it may be a little much for in here. Hey, it's our first morning here in South Dakota at the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. We stopped in at the Shady Lane diner to have breakfast, and they're going to be providing our meals while we're up here. They also provide the RV service and lodging for the trip. Like I said, this is the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. It's next to a Cheyenne Indian Reservation. You put them both together and there are just millions and millions of acres. I know that this one here, I think there's 1.6, if I'm not mistaken, acres on this. We're going to be up here hunting with the 16 Gauge Society, so it's going to be a great hunt. We're about to get it started. One of the places we were staying up here at the Shady Lane diner where we've been eating, and also the Moo Ranch where we've been, Dairy Ranch where we've been staying. They also have another guest house that you can stay up at when you're here. And actually, it's kind of a important historical home that they'd like to tell us about. And this is Charlotte, one of the owners here, and her husband, Don. Charlotte, why don't you tell us what is so important about this little house here?
This house was built in late 1800s or the early 1900s. It's an original from Major James McLaughlin. We have the original stepping stone for the buggy that's out front here on the end of the sidewalk, as well as the place where they tied up the horse for the buggy. We are restoring it and trying to bring it more modern, but still kind of original.
Yeah.
And
Major McLaughlin, he was with Custer and all that, with all
yes,
of everything
yes.
that went on up in this area.
Yes.
So.
And he's one of our. We're having a centennial next year,
Mm-hmm.
the 100th centennial. And he's one of our items on the logo for the centennial.
So it's a little piece of history up here. Like she said, this is the actual stepping stone where they'd actually step out of the carriages here and tie up their horses. And it's a piece of history. It's always nice to see that people are restoring and keeping these parts of our national treasures going. So thanks for sharing that. And we're going to be hitting the pheasant fields now and leave it with you to take care of our lunches and everything else. And we've enjoyed our time up here with you, Charlotte. Don?
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And we've enjoyed you guys immensely.
Thank you.
Broadside Adventures will be right back.
got a few guys that have some grouse tags, and they're going to actually go after a few grouse. I don't have a grouse tag, so I'll be laying back. Then we're going to be going into some pheasants and stuff later, so the cameras are going to follow along and see if these guys can get on some grouse here. We saw a huge group go across the road when we were coming in. I mean, there's probably 100 birds in it. So, but this is some beautiful country. We're right on the border of North Dakota and South Dakota, around McLaughlin, South Dakota. There's about, like I said before, about 1.6 million acres here on the Indian reservation. And our guide Casper is going to be taking us out. So as the guys are getting their guns, getting the dogs out, we're going to get started on this little grouse hunt here.
Get your gun ready.
Oh, he dropped one.
This is the unique part right here where it's feathered on the legs.
Yeah, to protect its legs. Almost like a ptarmigan. Yeah.
A ptarmigan, yeah.
Ptarmigan, yeah.
Now see, a ptarmigan have feathers in between their toes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks very similar to a prairie chicken, only without the little head.
Yeah.
feathers.
Well, the prairie chicken is called a pinnated grouse because it has long neck feathers right here. And when the male displays and everything,
they stand out.
they stand out like this, and he swells up that
on each
neck
side.
pouch on each
yeah,
side.
it's a little too, it's kind of like flesh colored.
Yeah.
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 So far what I found out about grouse hunting, this is my first grouse trip. Done a lot of pheasant hunting, but what I found out about grouse is you jump them and chase them, basically, on these open plains. And sometimes they can go a mile, sometimes they'll drop right away. But right now, yeah, they're flying more than a mile. Just keep walking them. Maybe these guys will get lucky here. Next time I come up to South Dakota, though, I'm gonna make sure I have a grouse tag. These look like some fun birds to shoot. So what species are we hunting in the grouse and the plains here?
Right now what we're looking for is sharptail grouse. We're going to catch this ridge line and make a circle back toward Lake Oahe and see if we can link up with the other batch down in the bottom. We just saw two batches go across the highway here, and hopefully run in on the bottom of a couple of groups that our host had seen earlier.
So is the sharptail the only ones, though? Are they
Yes,
in this
for the
area?
grouse.
Okay, so we got Hungarian partridge also.
Yeah, then we're also going to be hunting along the river bottoms and any place that there's coverage that will hold them, the pheasant. You'll occasionally run into some prairie pheasant here, but it isn't in concentration like it is down around the cover.
Okay. Well, it's definitely some beautiful ground.
It is indeed.
This is my first time in this part of the country, so I'm to hunt in this area. Well, still just got the one grouse. We've seen a lot of grouse. I'd say probably 75 to 100 birds, but they're coming up in front of us, 70, 80 yards out, and then just circling us. The grouse can hear very well. They don't like sound. So with this many guys, dogs, everything, they're picking up our sound coming through. Air winds, really carrying our walking and us talking. So a lot of these birds are getting up before we even get there, but hopefully the guys will get lucky here and get on a couple birds, and then we're going to head off to the pheasant. So that's when I get to pull out my gun.
Shoot! Rob, got him! Dead, Peach, dead! I'm dead! Here she comes. Come. Thank you, baby doll. Well, we've got a sharp-tailed grouse that Rob killed. First one. First one? Yep. Well, congratulations. There's another ridge line on the other end, that is always full of grouse. And I believe we can get to them that way. Also look for birds sitting in trees and shrubs, because that'll be a sentry bird, and that will tell us where a covey of birds are. Got him. Thank you. Thank you, girl. Well, we've got another sharp-tailed grouse. This one's a younger bird. Well, that's 3 so far.
I'm here with Doug Oliver, the founder of the 16 Gauge Society. He wants to share a little bit about the 16 Gauge Society and how it started. Be sure to look up the 16 Gauge Society at www.16ga.com.
Well, the story behind the 16 Gauge Society is really a pretty short one. About 7 or 8 years ago, I was doing some homework about buying myself a special gun for my 50th birthday. And the more homework I did, the better a 16 gauge looked to me. And I also noticed that there was a real tough time digging out information about 16 gauge, about who makes them and ammo and lots of other questions I had. So that kind of inspired me to put a website up and create the 16 Gauge Society. Today we have about 2,000 members, a forum on our website where people can go to get their questions answered or find things, etc. We all help each other out. So the real benefit of being in the 16 Gauge Society is the access to the information we provide, both on the guns and everything from clothing to equipment and everything else.
Hey, we're here with the 16 Gauge Society. They've got some unique 16 gauges that they'd like to showcase for you.
Well, what we have here is a sliding breech darn. It's made in France. We've got a Winchester Model 12, which is one of the classics.
A Spanish Ugartechea, and an American classic side lock, the L.C. Smith, Sweet Elsie.
Winchester 97, predecessor to the Model 12.
J.P. Sauer & Son, German gun, GI bring back from World War I.
This is a Ferro Rosini, Italian, over and under.
Browning Satori White Lightning 16 gauge.
What I got is a Marlin 90.
Broadside Adventures will be right back.
Oh yeah, I finally did it. Woohoo!
All right, who says the women can't do the hunting too?
Yeah,
Look at this.
that's me. Girls hunt too. Thank you very much.
How long? Now, this is our first grouse?
Yes.
How long are we been after these grouse?
Yeah, for like
2 years.
2 days. Actually, I shot some last time we were here.
You didn't kill a grouse last year.
No, a month
Okay, now
ago.
we get the argument on this. Is what it is. All right, let's keep that. This is reality TV here. Okay.
All that matters is I haven't shot one for the 2 days we've been here, and I got him now.
The grouse are very tough to get up here, as you can see, and as you're seeing by the footage. So, she came back with 2 as the guys were over there. So that was that's something. So.
Yeah, they didn't invite the girls, so
They had to go do it.
Yeah, we had to go do it ourselves.
Hey folks, like I said before, the reason I'm up here is Nick Hammack. Nick Hammack has a AA Precision 16 gauge. Now, Nick's going to be sharing with you a little bit about some exciting things that he's got going on with some new hole designs, with guns, a little bit of everything. So Nick, why don't you share with the viewers about this exciting thing that you've got planned and that's coming out in the future here at the Indian reservations?
Well, some of the current projects that we have in the works, if you can see this is the new 3/4 through 7/8 ounce wad that Downrange Manufacturing will be bringing out within the next couple of weeks. By the time this airs, we will have the production mold down to Downrange. They will be in full production. We also have in developmental stage a true dedicated 7/8 ounce wad. Something else I'd like to share is this is a Browning double auto. It is a 20 weight. It's an aluminum alloy receiver. This gun should have been made in the 16 gauge. It's the only 12 gauge that's at this particular 16 gauge event that's been currently used. But at the next viewing, you will see it with a 16 gauge barrel on it. It will thus be a 16 gauge. We also have in current development a new generation of hull that it will have longer reloading life. The longevity will be increased, and it's a unique design. We also are working in conjunction with the nations in Oklahoma and Standing Rock Reservation at looking on setting up industrial development parks to produce the weapons, the ammunition, and a various assortment of components related to the 16 gauge.
Like Nick said, there's some exciting things getting ready to happen in the future here with the 16 gauge, the 16 gauge society, and everyone involved. But one of the things I wanted to address was, we were talking with Casper Thunderhawk earlier. You know, Casper's guiding out here. We're actually in North Dakota at the moment, but we've been bouncing back and forth, South Dakota, North Dakota. The reservation here at Standing Rock, I believe, is what, 2.5 million?
2.6 million.
Okay. 1.5 million of that, I believe, if I caught Casper right, is huntable. And Casper guides on both of those. That's just one thing that I did want to point out, that you can actually be hunting South Dakota and North Dakota if you decide to come up here. So I know that our guns, I've heard the shots, they're getting farther away. We're getting way behind on this hunt. So we need to do some catching up. So we're going to return to the hunt, and you guys return to watching some great pheasant action here in North Dakota, South Dakota at the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. Safety's a good thing, but I'm still on safety. Oh, that's a bird right there. Rooster right there. When I come north or South Dakota, you better be prepared to do some walking. Them birds.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I can tell you both of us hit him.
I think that bird had did the bird get the
dead.
mange?
He's dead, there is no question. But I'll tell you, Rocky, you hit him first, but I thought you were going to let him get away, so I went ahead and shot.
The dog's saying, fetching what? He didn't leave me much.
Thank you, baby doll. Well, there we go, Rocky. Here. No, oh man, Rocky, you got to pack him.
It's the first time I think I've been out actually doing a hunt that there's someone else that shares my name, so.
Good girl, thank you. Here you go, Rocky.
Yep, got a couple birds. It's some rough country. Beautiful. Broadside Adventures will be right back. Tulsa. Well, we've killed a few birds this afternoon. Headed back out now. A little bit different terrain, as you can see. So these birds, hopefully these birds should shoot straight up when we get some good clean shots up high. I didn't want to plaster it, so I thought I'd weigh it out. Yeah, they're holding tight. That bird was not 5 feet from me.
Thank you. Oh, you didn't get your vest?
I did. Well, yeah.
I'll pack him.
Wow, we all missed that thing.
Wow.
Well, it's starting to get late in the day. We've got several birds down. I think we've still got a couple more spots we're going to try, but we're kicking up birds still. A lot of hens right now, but we'll get back in these roosters. Hey, I'm here with Casper Thunderhawk. He's one of the guides up here at Standing Rock. And Casper, why don't you tell us a little bit about what all you guide here on the Indian Reservation?
We got upland pheasant, grouse, partridge, mule deer, antelope. We got goose, but I ain't into goose hunting. And you hear the shooting going on in the back. There's quite a few people that do a lot of hunting here. So if you're interested in hunting, come on up.
All right, Casper's shown us a great time up here. We've got on some grouse. I've got to take several pheasants. We're late in the season while we're up here, so the birds are a little skittish, but I tell you what, I have seen a ton of birds. Now, I'm here with Nick Hammack. Nick is the reason I'm up here, and as you know, through the show, you've heard Nick and some of the things that are going on there. But Nick, you've got something, a presentation that we're going to be doing with Casper later on down through some time here, and why don't you share with the viewers about that?
What we're looking to do, of course, we got this going off.
We got hunters in the background. They're calling us in, so
we'll turn that off. But what we're looking to do is commemorate a gun to Casper's great-great-grandfather, Thunderhawk, who was on the Washington delegation. I believe he was on the courthouse or the Capitol steps in the frock coat and the top hat. The picture is in the casinos on both the south and the northern part of the reservation. And that's going to be a future project that we're working on developing. And also it will be in conjunction with the native tribes in the south in the Oklahoma reservation area.
All right. Well, that's going to be coming later on in some other shows that we're going to be doing that. And but anyway, like I said a while ago, it's a great place to hunt. Give Casper a call. We're going to have his phone number, email address, website, all of that up at the end of the show. So be watching for that. Make sure you book a hunt for a future with a hunt with Casper. Hey folks, that's all we have time for this week. It's been a great trip here in South Dakota doing some pheasant hunting and grouse hunting. We're here with the 16 Gauge Society, and it's just been a fabulous hunt. I tell you what, we're going to have information up at the end of the show for the 16 Gauge Society, the Moo Dairy Ranch, Arcadia Sporting Goods, and also Downrange Manufacturing. So make sure you check out all of these helpful sponsors that have helped make this hunt possible. And we'll see you again next week for another Broadside adventure.